Maitraya Shushrusha Abhirataya Cha Tadadhanaya Bhaktaya Vinitaya Nasuyave Bhuteshu Krita Maitraya Shushrusha Abhirataya Cha. Instruction should be given to the faithful devotee who is respectful to the spiritual master, non-envious, friendly to all kinds of living entities, and eager to render service with faith and sincerity. बहिजात विरागाय शान्तचित्तः दीयताम् निर्मत्सराय शुचये यस्याहं प्रेयसां प्रिय बहिजात विरागाय शान्तचित्तः दीयताम् निर्मत्सराय शुचये यस्याहं प्रेयसां प्रिय. This instruction should be imparted by the spiritual master. Two persons who are taken to the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be more dear than anything, who are not envious of anyone, who are perfectly cleansed, and who have developed detachment for that which is outside the purview of Krishna consciousness. Purport. In the beginning, no one can be elevated to the highest stage of devotional service. Here, bhakta means who does not hesitate to accept the reformatory processes for becoming a bhakta. In order to become a devotee of the Lord, one has to accept a spiritual master and inquire from him about how to progress in devotional service. To serve a devotee, to chant the holy name according to a certain counting method, to worship the deity, to hear Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita from a realized person, and to live in a sacred place where devotional service is not disturbed, are the first out of 64 devotional activities for making progress in devotional service. One who has accepted these 5 chief activities is called a devotee. One must be prepared to offer the necessary respect and honor to the spiritual master. He should not be unnecessarily envious of his god brothers. Rather, if a god brother is more enlightened and advanced in Krishna consciousness, one should accept him as almost equal to the spiritual master, and one should be happy to see such god brothers advance in Krishna consciousness. A devotee should always be very kind to the general public in instructing Krishna consciousness, because that is the only solution for getting out of the clutches of Maya. That is really humanitarian work, for it is the way to show mercy to others. For it is the way to show mercy to other people who need it very badly. The word Sushrusha Abhirataya indicates a person who faithfully engages in serving the spiritual master. One should give personal service and all kinds of comforts to the spiritual master. A devotee who does so is also a bona fide candidate for taking this instruction. The word Bahirjata Viragaya means a person who has developed detachment from external and internal material propensities. Not only is he detached from activities which are not connected to Krishna consciousness, but he should be internally averse to the material way of life. Such a person must be non-envious and should think of the welfare of all living entities, not only of the human beings, but living entities other than human beings. The word Suchaye means one who is not cleansed both externally and internally. To become actually cleansed externally and internally, one should chant the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna or Vishnu, constantly. The word Diyatam means that knowledge of Krishna consciousness should be offered by the spiritual master. The spiritual master must not accept a disciple who is not qualified. He should not be professional and should not accept disciples for monetary gains. The bona fide spiritual master must see the bona fide qualities of a person whom he is going to initiate. An unworthy person should not be initiated. The spiritual master should train his disciple in such a way so that in the future only the Supreme Personality of Godhead will be the dearmost goal of his life. In these two verses, the qualities of a devotee are fully explained. One who has actually developed all the qualities listed in these verses is already elevated to the post of a devotee. If one has not developed all these qualities, he still has to fulfill these conditions in order to become a perfect devotee. Om Agnanativinandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manabhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swamrupa Kadhamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavansya Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sagana Raghunathabitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Pariyana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radhakanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayavacha Patitanam Pavanebhayo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. In these two verses, we see that the qualities of a devotee are discussed. That they should be faithful, uh, they should follow the process of devotional service, respectful, non-envious, friendly to all the jivas, eager to render service, detached, peaceful-minded, unselfish, pure, and who have taken to the Lord to be the most dear object. Also, Srila Prabhupada elaborates on one surrendering to one spiritual master, right, and offering all respect and honor to the spiritual master, and should not be unnecessarily envious of his god brothers. Rather, if the god brother is more enlightened, it should also be respected as close to the spiritual master. Instead of becoming envious and bringing him down, he should be happy to see such god brothers advance in Krishna consciousness. Right? The devotee should always be very kind to the general public in instructing Krishna consciousness, because that is the only solution for getting out of the clutches of Maya. Right? So, wonderfully, Lord Kapila describes the qualities of the devotee, the qualification required to receive this knowledge. Right? And then in the last two words, the Falastuti words, he mentions anyone who once meditates upon me with faith and affection, who hears and chants about me, surely goes back home, back to Godhead. Right? So, who hears about this topic, right, achieves the Lord's abode, right, meditates upon me, means hears about the topics which Lord Kapila, or the Supreme Lord, is laying out to Mother Devahuti and through Mother Devahuti to all of us with a faith and affection, right? And who hears and chants about me surely goes back home, back to Godhead. So in this verses, various points are made, right, of the qualities which a devotee should have. There are 64 of them, of which major 5 chief activities is mentioned, of serving a devotee, to chant the holy name, right, to worship the deity, hear Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita from a realized person, and to live in a sacred place where devotional service is not disturbed, right. So they are the first out of 64 devotional activities for making progress in devotional service. Also explained Pancha Upasana, right? Pancha Upasana. Serving a devotee, chanting the holy name, to worship the deity, to hear Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita from a realized person, and to live in a sacred place. Pancha Upasana. Pancha Purushartha. So, in that way, one can advance in devotional service. Right. The qualities of a devotee is mentioned, and one who then further cultivates these qualities nicely, they can advance in devotional service and become worthy of attaining the Lord's abode. They become worthy of attaining the Lord's abode. Yeah. Okay, Kalindi Mataji is also there. Mataji, would like to say something now?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, is that okay? Shall I continue?
Yeah. I went over the translation of the words, so if you want, you can directly.
Sorry. Okay, Prabhuji, sure. Yeah. तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुल्लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यं. Yeah, humble apologies to everyone. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya-lila, 22nd verse, it is mentioned clearly. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentioned, empowered actually Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami directly, and he gave lot of instructions to deliver, to preach his messages all over the world. And he emphasized, he was describing about all these 64 qualities. Among these 64 limbs of devotional service, these 5 are given much importance. Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavata Shrevan Madhravasa Srimutira Shraddhaya Sevan. And he emphasized these 5 one. Among all these is, which is the root quality? Association with devotees. So we should be very careful. We have to make sure that we have to associate with proper devotees. And after saying these 5 limbs, 5 potent forms of devotional service, he emphasized that further. Sakala sadhana shrestha ye pancha anga Krishna prema janmaya ye panchera alpa sangha. He mentioned that these 5 limbs of devotional service are best of all. Even slight performance of these 5 awakens love for Krishna. See, such an importance he has given for these 5 limbs. Even slight performance also will help us awaken our dormant Krishna consciousness. So among all this, as Prabhuji just now mentioned, Sadhu Sangha, Nama Kirtan, Bhagavata Shravan, Madhuravas, and last one is we have to Shraddha Sevana. We have to worship the deity with faith and veneration. To get all these, among these 5 also, Sadhu Sangha is very important. We should be associated with the proper devotees. There is one wonderful incident in Chaitanya Charitamrita only. Raghunath Bhatta Goswami was going to Jagannath Puri. He was accompanied with one Rama Bhakta. So this Rama Bhakta, he was continuously chanting Lord Rama's name, Rama, 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 Rama. And Raghunath Bhatta Goswami is very much surprised how nice, wonderful devotee he is. And more than that, he was serving Raghunath Bhatta Goswami throughout the journey. He was doing such a menial service. At the same time, he was constantly chanting Rama, 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 Rama. And at one point, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami felt so discomfort to receive such a service from such an exalted devotee. And finally, they both reached Jagannath Puri, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu received Raghunath Bhatta Goswami so nicely. And he embraced, and he spoke very sweet words to Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. But he ignored this Rama Bhakta. And Raghunath Bhatta Goswami was very much surprised. Usually it's not good, right? If 2 of us are going and that person is much better, you are feeling. And when the Lord ignores such a kind of nice devotee, then Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, at that time he did not speak anything. Later, next day, he went and met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally. I could not understand the behavior, Mahaprabhu. Can you please kindly reveal the intent of your actions? Then Raghunath Bhatta Goswami explained that though he is constantly chanting Rama, 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 he is not the pure devotee. His intention is to become Rama. So better be careful to associate with such kind of devotees. So we should not judge anyone externally, but we should be cautious. In the same way, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was approached by so many poets about various literatures, various stories, various poems, anything, he was initially very encouraged to hear all these. But later on, when he was coming to know the intentions of so many people, improper way of understanding the essence of Vedas, mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then he was literally vexed up, and he put Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, before they come and make me listen, you please approve that. Then Swarup Damodar is very close associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he understood the mood and mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Swarup Damodar was appointed, and like that he was scrutinizing, and he was explaining, no, this is not the mood, this is not the essence. So he used to reject all these improper. So when we are associating, we have to choose. Even so-called bhakti channels, so many TV channels who are explaining the Bhagavata philosophy. And not only that, when we go to Vrindavan Dham or Mayapur Dham, we should be very careful. We should not disrespect, we should not offend the Dhamvasis. At the same time, we should be able to discriminate while associating with the devotees. And chant the holy name of the Lord. Second one is chanting the holy name of the Lord. As we just now heard, when we are hearing this holy name of the Lord also, we should, when we are chanting this holy name also, we should be very careful. We should not do any nama parada also. There are 10 offenses. We have to be cautious. We have to be thorough with the holy name of the Lord. Of course, nama has its own potency, however you chant. Even hasyam va, parihasam va, however you chant, it will have its potency. But to derive complete advantage, we have to be careful not to make any namaparad. And here Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again emphasized we should hear from only pure devotees. Otherwise, it is like milk. However we drink, it will have benefit. But when it is touched with the snake, it will have a negative effect. In the same way, if we hear Srimad Bhagavatam from non-devotees, we should not get attracted to that weekly scholarly presentations of this Srimad Bhagavatam for namesake, fame sake. If anyone is giving, it is so nice to hear their way of reciting the shlokas or way of deliverance, but we should understand the mood. And he was so angry when his disciples, Lord Chaitanya's associates, anyone go and hear the Mayavada Bhashya. Of course, only one time he did not reject when Srinivas Thakura is listening to this Devananda Pandit. Instead of chastising Srinivas Thakura, he, because of seeing his spontaneous devotion, rather he chastised Devananda Pandit for disrespecting Srinivas Thakura. That's the reason he told many times to all his disciples, don't go and listen to these Mayavada philosophers. Hear from the pure devotees. Then all, we heard that in Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd chapter, 1st canto, all our soka, moha, bhaya, everything will be gone. And it is said that Sarva Vedanta Saram hi Sri Bhagavatam ishyate tadra samrita truptasya nanyatrasya ratik kvachit. So when we are reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, when we get the taste of the Srimad Bhagavatam, we don't find taste in any other literature. Such a potent literature is this Srimad Bhagavatam when we hear from the proper authorized resources. Of course, we are all so fortunate we are guided properly to read only Prabhupada purports, to hear only Prabhupada and Prabhupada disciples. But in general also, we should not get attracted to mundane speakers. We should be always cautious. Though it seems to be like a Srimad Bhagavata only, we should be very careful. How can we know that we are not getting proper taste? We are not getting, they are not the perfect devotees to teach Srimad Bhagavatam, means this is the one. Nanyat tatra ratik kvachit. When we hear and read Srimad Bhagavatam in a proper way, under proper guidance, we will not have interest on any mundane newspapers, mundane online news, this news, that news. We will be focused on Srimad Bhagavatam. We will derive pleasure in Srimad Bhagavatam only. We don't get attracted to the politics. We don't get attracted to the sports channels. That is the significance. That we are reading with faith this Srimad Bhagavatam under proper guidance in the proper way, means this is the result. Tasya rasamrita truptasya nanyatrasya dratik kvachit. So this is the indication. We should be able to develop the taste. Otherwise, it is not proper way of reading or not proper way of hearing also. And recite at Madhuravas. Fourth anga is, we should not just reciting at the Madhuravas. We should take the shelter of a person who is carrying the Supreme Lord. Then they can purify all our contamination. Not just residing at Madhuravas and watching the channels and reading the paper and talking mundane topics. That is not residing at Madhura. So real residing at Madhura means again serving the Vaishnava who is carrying the Supreme Lord. Thiddhi kurvante tirthani swantastena gadabhrata. So when Yudhishthira Maharaj travelled all the holy places and came back, Yudhishthira Maharaj glorified him. Thiddhi kurvante tirthani. You are the Tiddha. You are the all the Tiddhas because you are carrying the Supreme Lord in your heart. So when I serve you, that means I am serving all the tirthas. So that is the power of pure devotees. Again, we should serve such kind of pure devotees. So basis of all these five angas also, again we should associate with pure devotees, serve them, we should follow their instructions. Then everything will fall in place. Not only these remaining four principal angas, but also all remaining 60 angas also will fall in place. So associate with pure devotee, hearing to them, serving them. So all our acharyas could establish this principles of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, follow these 64 angas because of that one primary principle, association of pure devotee, hearing to them, following their instructions. And the last fifth important anga is worship the deity with faith and veneration. So we should always be very careful when we are doing the Archana Vidhi, when we are serving the Supreme Lord in the deity, or when we are participating in aratis, we should always think, able to see the Lord standing in front of us. We should not think that he is made out of stone, made out of wood. We should not be skeptical, we should not be doubtful, rather we should devote our heart. One time in Chaupati temple, devotees are focusing this camera towards the audience who are coming and visiting the lordships. And His Holiness Radhamanath Maharaj saw that don't focus this CC camera onto the devotees, better not. Then all the devotees asked, because it is the personal relation, personal, their connection with Krishna. They have lot of emotions, they have a lot of expressions, a lot of feelings to express to the lordships. So such is, we should be able to see that one. We should be able to see that Lord is there to communicate with us. I can communicate with him, I can express my feelings with him. So we should have that real reciprocation with the Supreme Lord. That will happen when we follow remaining four angas properly. Okay, with this I will conclude. I am extremely sorry. My sincere, humble apologies to everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Mataji. We like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead. We like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Singho Jai Singho. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Shino Singho Jai
Jana
Singho Jai Jai
Jana
Singho.
Pralad
Baladesha Jaya Padma.
Mukhapadma Pritham
Gulaviram
Mahavir
Mahavira
Jwalantam Sarvatam
Bhavantam Prabhuto Mukham,
Kesharam
Nrsimha
Narsimha
Bhishana
Krishna
Badra
Bhadram,
Bhishya
Mrityunjaya.
Nrsimha Bhagwan ki jai, Prahlad
Jai.
ki jai.
Jai.
Let's offer our humble obeisances to all the Sabha Vaishnavas. Vancha
Vancha
Vanchakalpa
kalpatarubhayasya
Kripa Shaludabhave, Patitanam
Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
namo
Namo Namah.
Vaishnavinda ki jai.
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 Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
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 Pada ki jai.
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 Gaur Premanande Hari.
Hare 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 Bol.
Thank you, Madhupati
Thank
Prabhuji
you
and
everybody.
Kandadesh.
Hare Bol. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.